So this week's Tip Tuesday is inspired by Amber in the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. So Amber suggested that we do a prompt, a daily prompt of Inspector Gadget. And of course my wheels got turning and I got to thinking about different ideas and I thought about doing a magnifying glass. So I made this little magnifying glass, which is super cute. And this is made with plexiglass. And I'm going to show you how to, a little tip, a little hack on how to cut the plexiglass. So what you're going to need for this project, I'm using 18 gauge copper wire. I have a couple of pieces of plexiglass. I have a round form, my cutters, my pliers, and 2 pieces of wood. These are actually my old templates, my old jigs that I use, but I'm using them because I need 2 flat surfaces. And as you can see, when you cut the plexiglass, it kind of shatters like that, but we're going to work around that. And while I get prepared, I'm going to turn on the element on high, so be very careful with this. If you're underage, please get your parent to help you if you are doing this, and actually you shouldn't be doing this if you're underage. So you'll take your wire, and if you want a few that are the same size, cut a long piece of wire, and you can just wind it around your round form depending on how big you want the circle to be. I need 3 because I'm going to do a couple of different projects, and then I'm just going to make sure it's tight in there so they're going to be the same size, and then you let it go and you'll see you'll have enough to make 3 the same size. So we're going to cut it. We'll cut one here, and then we'll cut one towards the other side here, and then we're going to cut one here, and then we're going to cut one here. So we'll have 3 the same size. And then what we want to do, I'll show you how you do it. We want to line them up. If you have to bend it back and forth a bit, you can, because you really want them to line up like that, so it's flat-ish. And then we're going to actually put it on the element. Now this is where you're going to have to be super careful because it has to heat up. So while it's heating up, you're going to put your piece of plexiglass on one piece of wood, and then when it's nice and hot, you'll actually turn off your element so you don't have to worry about it. And then you have to be really quick with this. So you're going to hold your other piece of wood. You're going to quickly take this off of the element, pop it on there so it's nicely centered, and just push it down really strongly. You could even lift it up and kind of sandwich it together. So then you're going to open it up and you'll see that it's stuck in place there, and then you can just flip it off. Okay, you left a little bit, but these are scrap woods, the back, I don't care what it looks like. And it's really embedded itself into the plexiglass there. So what you're going to do now is very carefully just cut this off. If you hold it carefully and bend it back, it's actually going to, oh, there goes a piece. So maybe wear goggles for this. And we're going to just pull it, and if you have a piece that's difficult to get off, just use your pliers. And it's made a piece exactly the same size as that, so what you'll be able to do is remove that, and you can surround it with the wire. So here's the magnifying glass. I'm actually going to do this in a different video, and today I wanted to do something special for Amber, so I'm going to put her little doggy in between 2 pieces of plexiglass and try to make a pendant. So here we go. We've got our 2 pieces of plexiglass that I already popped out, and what I want to do is you're going to file them a little bit. So as always, I'm just winging it with this one. So I'm just going to take this piece, even though it's not perfectly filed, you can just smooth down the edges as you like, and I'm going to put it on top of Doggy and just trace them around so we can just have this about the right size. So we're just going to trace this around the circle and then trim it. So I want it to be not quite as large as the piece, so we're just going to trim it on the inside of where we traced it. So I'm sure there's tons of ways you can do this. I'm just going to try to keep it super simple and just put it on the one plastic like that, and then pop another one on top. So we're just going to make sure, and actually you can make sure the flattest parts are together. So we're going to put it on top. Oh, that's super cute. And I was thinking, how am I going to attach it so it doesn't leak? You could put some kind of glue around the outside maybe. And I thought I'd just try with hot glue just to see how it's going to go, because I'm going to cover this part with wire. It works well if you just kind of like very, very carefully smooth it around with the end of the glue gun. And this is a low temperature glue gun. So now he's nicely sealed in with the glue, and I'm going to get some wire. So I'm going to try with the 20 gauge wire, the artistic copper wire, and there's a couple of options you can do it. You can weave it with do some kind of wire weaving if you like, or we could just simply try to do a single strand around. So I'm going to try the wire weaving. I'm really not very good at it. I don't do a lot of it, but I thought I'll just try it to see if I can make a more solid surrounding for the piece. And if it doesn't work, you can just do like a single or double wire loop around the outside. So we're going to tighten this up, and the idea is you want to just twist it around the 3 pieces. It's just so it becomes a little bit more wide, so it can surround the piece a little better. So we've gone around like that, and then we're just going to work our way back. And what you can do is, like, if these get in the way, you could do it near the end and just pull this around here. So we're going to go, basically we're just kind of going to do a zigzag up and down. I'm not going to worry about making it too tight because this is really a prototype, and so basically just wind it around one and the other and the next. This one we're going to have to push it along a little bit, and I'm sure it gets faster the more you do. There's tons of wire weaving tutorials out there that you could definitely check out to figure out how you want to wrap the plexiglass piece. So I'm just going to go up and down till I have enough. So once it's long enough, then you're going to have to start trimming some ends. So we'll just go ahead and trim this end here. And then what we need also to do is to be able to like turn it all the way around. So if you have to pull the wire out a bit, you can go ahead and do that. And then we're going to get our round form, the same one that we used to make the original ring, and bring it around. And you're going to see like maybe it's going to be too long. So if it is too long, that's no problem, because we've made this quite loose, so we could definitely like bring it out and push the ends in a little bit to make it more dense. And this side too, we could go over here and just bring it in a little bit just so it's not so long. And then we'll figure out where we want it to be. So this long wire we're going to bend up at a right angle, because that's going to be our sort of our anchor wire. These ones we could put to the side a little bit, and we'll go ahead and bring this around all the way around. Looks like it's a pretty good size. And then we're going to make sure doggy fits in there. So we're going to bring that in here. We have a lot of ends, so I think we're going to have to go ahead also and cut this other wrapping wire off. So just center your little pendant inside there with your little doggy or whatever you decide to put inside. And this is going to be a little tricky. You want to hold it nicely in place, so this is very centered and it's not going to slip out. Having the hot glue helps because it's a little bit sticky and it holds it in place. So now take this wire, the middle one, and pull it around there. Now if you need help with your pliers, it'll help to like tighten it up quite a bit. So go ahead and then clip it off. And then to make sure it's tight enough, just take this and with the flick of the wrist, just twist it around, and then it's going to hold more in place. Okay, so then you have like sort of your main wire sticking up that you can do some beading on there. So now we're going to have to twist these wires around just to get rid of them, because we don't want any sharp ends. So we're just going to go around and just like twist them and clip them just to get rid of them all. And then this one too, bring this one to the front and then twist it, and you can clip it. And if you wanted to do like a little spiral, you could. So maybe leave your longest one that you want to do a spiral, and then bring that one around and clip it. And then this one too, you could bring this around. And the thing you could do with these is to make sure like to be sure extra careful that it holds in place, you can actually create like a little spiral here. So now with your round pliers, you can just form a little spiral. So if you want to, you can actually bring this right down to the bottom and twist it, and that way it's going to hold it better in the back, so this thing won't pop out. But because I didn't cut the wire long enough, I'll just make like a little spiral on the back, and that'll help hold it in place. But probably I would recommend to like attach it down there. So I ended up attaching the wire down at the bottom to be sure that the piece wouldn't pop out. You can also, for finishing touches, just take these little ends and just like twist them towards the inside to hold it even more. And then just to make this a little more fancy, we can make a little spiral at the front too. Bring that around, and then just with your thumb and your finger, you can just bring it up here, and that's really cute like that with a little spiral. Always so cute. Oh my goodness. So now we're going to put a little heart bead, of course, for little doggy, and then a little miracle bead, because that's my favorite bead ever. And then we're going to make a loop and bring this around, and you could put a jump ring, you could put it on a necklace. I think Amber's gonna have to give me her address so I could send it to her. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. So there's little doggy. So Amber, thank you so much for the idea for Inspector Gadget for the daily prompts in the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. And thanks you guys so much for watching.